Have you ever noticed that even the toughest critics couldn't find fault in Jesus? When he stood on trial before Pilate, the Roman governor said 3 times, "I find no fault in him." And the more I study the Bible, the more I agree. I find no fault in him. Now, contrast that with the world we live in today. Turn on the news, scroll social media, you'll see fault finding everywhere. All too often, we're quick to criticize, quick to attack, quick to point out what's wrong. And we tend to find something wrong with just about everything. However, when I look at Christ, when I look at His Word, I can say with confidence, I find no fault in Him. Now, that's a bold statement, I know. And it's a decision wrapped all together in one. A decision to trust Him. A decision to live by His Word. A decision to believe in the one who is perfect and unchanging. Welcome back to Driving Life Short Bus. I'm Mark, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about something, simple, but yet profound. What it means to say, I find no fault in Him. Luke 23:4 says, "So Pilate said to the chief priests and the crowd, I find no fault in this man." And in John 19, Pilate repeats it not once, but twice. "Behold, I am bringing him out to you, that you may know that I find no fault in him. And again, you take him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him." Pilate was a pagan governor, wasn't a follower of Christ. Yet, in that moment, standing face to face with Jesus, he couldn't find a single fault in him. That's because Jesus is the spotless Lamb of God, sinless, perfect, holy, and here's where it gets even deeper. John chapter 1 tells us, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh." Jesus is the Word made flesh. So when I say I find no fault in Him, I'm also saying I find no fault in His Word. Now think about it. Find no fault in a book that tells me I am loved. I find no fault in the command to focus on and think about whatever's true, noble, just, pure, and praiseworthy. I find no fault in the encouragement not to grow weary in doing good. I find no fault in the guidance to give generously to those in need. I find no fault in the command to love God and love my neighbor. I find no fault in the promise of peace when I lay aside my anxious thoughts. I find no fault in the call to press towards something more, His higher calling. And I find no fault in being directed to be patient, kind, not to envy, not to boast, not to be prideful, not to dishonor others, not to be self-seeking, not to get easily angered, to keep no record of wrongs, not to delight in evil, but to rejoice in the truth, to always protect, always trust, always hope, always preserve. The more I look at Jesus, the more I see His way is good, His word is faithful, and His love, it never fails. The more I look at Jesus, the more I find no fault in Him. So here's this week's challenge. Take one area of your life where you've been doubting or struggling, then ask yourself, do I find fault here or do I find faith? Drop a comment below and share what truth about Jesus you find no fault in. If you've enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Also, share this with a friend who might need to hear this today. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any of our weekly videos. And you're invited to join me next time as we navigate more of life's twists and turns, as always, with the Bible as our guide. Remember, Jesus is the way. I'm rooting for you, and it is all possible if we believe.